Hi everybody. I am here with Rosie tonight. She wanted to join in. I'm sure she's gonna run in a minute. So I'm gonna start getting set up. I am so happy to stamp tonight. It was a crazy day and I really didn't even know what project I was gonna do till like an hour ago. So keeping things interesting, but I'm sure it'll be fun. I'm sure it'll be fine. So let's see. Rosie, say hi. You have your back turned. Don't mind my mess. It was pretty crazy here. Hi, Michelle. So I'm off this week. I'm like super excited. I get paid to be off. I finished up my project for my last employer on Friday, and my new one doesn't start till next week Wednesday, so I get what's called bench time, so I get paid for not working. So I've been doing some educational things, stuff like that, and then I've been doing a lot of stuff around the house. And it's funny how, like, does anyone else have ADD? Because I do. I started cleaning something, and then I started cleaning out the pantry, and like 3 hours later I was like, oh my god, like I got so off track and so distracted. It's just like, yeah, I have really bad ADD. Hi Janet. So then, well, I got dinner ready, so that was nice. Tim isn't home yet, but hopefully he will be soon, which is why Rosie is here, because she doesn't like to be alone. So she had to follow me down the stairs. But yeah, I'm sure as soon as she hears him come home, she'll take off. What's the matter, girl? Say hi. Anyway, oh my gosh, I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and my daughter's messaging me. I hope everything's okay. But okay, so I decided, I knew I wanted to use some of the celebration paper, and so I decided I've been working on some fun folds, and so I have 2 cards to show you tonight with some fun folds. So I wrote down all the dimensions, so I'll have that on the screen, but don't worry, I will post everything, if not tonight, tomorrow, so that you have those measurements so that you can make your own at some point. So I'll post those all on my page. I just want to check and make sure that everything's okay with my daughter. And it's not going to tell me. Okay. Oh well. All right. I know they're traveling tonight. Brooke is having oral surgery in the morning, so she's a little freaked out. And so they have to stay in Milwaukee for the night. And so, anyway. Yeah, so, Rosie, we're going to get started. Are you going to stay or are you going to go? I think, you know what, I did not draw a winner, so I will also be posting that later. Yeah, for not having work this week, I've had a lot going on. Sorry about that, but I have it written on my to-do list, which is probably over in my office, so I'll be sure to take care of that. So, Rosie, what you doing, huh? All right, I'm gonna flip the camera around. Hang on. Oh. Rosie, you're so funny. Let's see. Now it's stuck. How come these things just don't want to loosen very well? go. There we go. All right. Are we still live? Looks like it. All right, my screen froze, so I was thinking I disconnected something. I just want to tighten this up a little bit. And you will probably hear her barking when Tim comes home. Like, really bad. So, I'm going to use this gorgeous paper tonight. This is called, I had to write it down because I can never remember. It's called Paper Blooms DSP. And so we have all of these beautiful patterns. Look at that. These are probably the two that I've used the most, as you'll see on my cards. And then there's this is Rococo Rose, and this is one of our in colors that's going to be going away in like 2 months. I love this, and as a scrapbooker, this would be like perfect for a scrapbook page. And then there's that. And this, yeah, some of these larger, bolder patterns are perfect for scrapbooks, especially if you do the 12 by 12 pages. And then some stripes, and some of those beautiful flowers again, and the leaves. I just love this paper. This paper is one of your options when you place a $50 order. You can pick something for free, and this is one of your options. So that's how I got mine. See, I'm gonna fix this just a little bit because I tightened it up and then it fell down. I think I got a dud because these aren't supposed to move, but mine moves all the time. I noticed when I was filming videos for my new class last week that I would start with it in a certain position and then the arm would be sagging by the time I was done with the video. So, yeah, I think I got a dud. I might be in the market for a new phone mount soon. But anyway, okay, so the first card we're going to make tonight is called a flap fold. Isn't this fun? So from what I could find, that's what it is. It's called a flap fold. Flap fold. So what I've got here is, hold on, I need a drink. I'm drinking my lime bubbly water. I love it. It's my favorite. I like the other flavors too, but I think the lime is just my favorite. Okay, so these are my dimensions, and well, I'll kind of describe it as I'm going through it. So the base, which is the old olive piece here, is 5.5 by 7 1/4. And then you score it at 4 1/4. So it's smaller than a regular card base. It's almost like scoring a regular card base and then cutting a couple inches off. And then the DSP here is 5 1/4 by 4. And then this flap, this is, let's see, this is 3.5 by 7.5, and it's scored at 3 3/4. And then this piece of DSP is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. So once you get all that done, then you've just got this Rococo Rose layer here. I cut at 3 5/8 by 3 3/8. So it's almost a square, but not quite. And then that piece of DSP is a little bit smaller than that. It's 3 3/8 by 3 1/8. And then the inside, this white, is 3 1/4 by 3 1/2. So this is the first card we're going to make tonight. And like I said, don't worry, we're going to put all of those measurements. I'm going to put them all on my page so you'll have access to those. So I was in a real rush once I decided what I should do. I had to cut everything and get it ready. So it was a little hectic around here. Plus, I had dinner quick because it smelled so good. And I was starving. So I ended up throwing chicken in the crock pot with some canned beans and canned tomatoes and chilies and some taco seasoning, and I ended up making a chicken taco soup, which is like my favorite thing because you just throw it all in and forget about it. And so it turned out amazing. And Tim likes it with, he likes to put shredded cheese and sour cream on it, and sometimes he'll do like black olives, and that all sounds really good and stuff, but I prefer things like simple. So I cut up like a half avocado and just a dollop of sour cream on mine. I try not to eat a whole lot of cheese, and so I skipped the cheese tonight, and it was so good. So I'm really happy with dinner. I think it turned out good, and I'm glad that it's all ready to go for when Tim gets home. He's been working really late this week. I think the earliest he's been home is like 6:30 or 7. So he's got a big job, which is good. So I'm just gluing all my layers. These cards are pretty simple. Once I had this all done, I had to figure out how I was going to decorate it. So I'll get to that in a minute. Had a little bit of trouble trying to figure out what I wanted to do. But I've been kind of focused on fun folds this week because I think my next class I'm gonna do some fun folds, and so I wanted to find like 7 or 8 different folds that I've never done before to have some options, you know, to try to decide which ones I was gonna do for my next class. And so I was looking up fun folds, and I found a couple that I'd never done before, so that's kind of where these came from. But then I had to, you know, decide what paper I was going to use and how I was going to decorate it. And so for this one, these folds just kind of cross over like that. But you want to make sure, I like this to be centered so that there's a little bit on this side and a little bit on this side. I just don't want to put it like way up against this fold because then I feel like it's off a little bit. But that's totally up to however you prefer when you're making your fold. But for me, that's how I find it. That's how I want it to be, so that's what I'm doing. And so I'm going to, I think that's about right. And then I've got the white in here. So I will put that down. So then when I was talking about how to decorate, like I was like, what am I gonna do here? So I decided, I have these Stitch So Sweetly dies. I love these. I've been using them a ton lately. They're so cool because these two right here layer. And so, like I said, I've been using them a ton. And then this, you'll see how I've used these rectangles on other cards, but it's basically like a stitched rectangle with a scallop edge. They are so cute, so precious. I love these dies. So these, and then I also have the stamp set called Here's a Card. And so I use the stamp set on a lot of the cards that I'm gonna show you, as well as the ones I'm making tonight. So I decided to use these dies. I cut two just in case I screwed up. So I decided I was gonna layer these here. And this one I want to do some stamping on first. So I'm going to get out my Rococo Rose. And I'm using this little floral stamp. This is from the Art Gallery stamp set, which is this one right here, and I'm just going to use it as a background. So I'm going to stamp it off before I stamp on my cardstock. And I'm going to do one up at the top, and then I'll do another one on the side. I just kind of want those flowers on the side. Put some petals over there, because then I'm going to do some embossing. Just wipe. I usually clean my stamps after I'm done, but I like to wipe them off right away. So I want to emboss in gold. So I'm going to get my Versamark and my embossing buddy. I use it all the time so I don't make a mess, because I've done that before. And I'm going to use the happy birthday, because you can never have enough birthday cards, right? And stamp that right on there. And I'm going to heat emboss that, but I'm going to use gold embossing powder. So I've got my gold here, my scrap paper, and this is going to look really nice. Come on. Suddenly it was stuck. I couldn't pick it up. Ooh. All right. Get my heat gun, and I'm going to grab my clipboard, so hang on real quick, get that out of the way. I showed you guys the clipboard trick. So if I just put a little corner of that in here, it'll help hold it so I don't burn my fingers when I'm embossing. So, what everybody else have for dinner tonight? Hi Wanda, glad you could watch. Yeah, it's gonna get really cold, and so I always start thinking of soup. I'm going up north this weekend and it's going to be really cold. So, kind of not looking forward to it, but looks like my powder got out of control a little bit there. I'm not really sure what happened. I thought I used the embossing buddy, but I got some embossing powder where I didn't want it, so I may need a do-over on that. That happens sometimes, doesn't it? I'll just glue it down carefully. I may have to fix that off camera later if I don't like it. And I'm not sure really why that happened. I wonder if the ink was still wet when I did that. Because it definitely didn't happen on the other one. Let's see. Interesting. All right, so then I'm going to attach this with dimensionals. And let's see, I got them right here. I have a lot of butterflies laying around because, as you know, the class that I just finished working on and released for sale is with the beautiful butterflies, which I think are going away when this catalog ends in May. And so I wanted to do a class with them because they're like so beautiful. And so from designing those cards for my class, I've had butterflies laying everywhere. So I just had this one little random guy, and I just stuck him up there in the corner. So that's kind of where that came from. And some of these littles are really hard to put glue on. But I just glued him right up there in the corner of my flap. I love this card. It's really simple. I mean, it looks kind of complicated, but it's a pretty simple card. And then, what else? Oh, somebody's home. Oh, I need some gold gems. So I've got my favorite, the gilded gems. And I'm going to use the larger size ones. Let's see. That just stuck to where I didn't want it to stick. Holy cow. And I'm going to put them on the edges of this label because I think that's a really cool look. I'm going to use my sticky tip to pick these up too, because I'm having a hard time with the gems tonight. Wow. All right. Yeah, Janet says anything colder than -10 should be outlawed. I think you're being a little generous. I think, like for me, 30 is my limit. When it's 20 degrees or when it's 15 degrees, the cold really affects my body physically, and I can definitely see how I'm going to want to move somewhere warmer in the next 15 years maybe. We'll see what my kids do, but I hate to leave my family, but I think that physically I'm just not going to be able to live here anymore because it is really hard for me to move around when it gets that cold. Oh, I'm missing so I've got this gold thread. This is from the Forever Greenery suite. And so I'm just going to tie a little bow and stick that to the front. So we either have a burglar or Tim is home, because I hear someone walking around upstairs. So I always laugh, like somebody could come into the house to steal things, and as long as they bring treats for Rosie, she'd just let them in. So she just loves treats. I'm pretty sure it's Tim. So, okay, I've got this pretty little bow, and we always use glue dots for ribbon. And sometimes I know I usually put them on off camera because it's easier for me to see because I'm kind of blind, but just to show you guys, like, I know that the glue dot is bigger than your bow sometimes, and I just kind of flatten it out or fold it over or push it down so that it's, you know, just kind of hiding behind that knot like that. And I'm just going to put that over on that side. And there we go. That is card number 1. This is our flap fold card. So I made a couple other flap folds. I'm just going to show those right away so I don't forget. So this one is also a flap fold. I had an extra butterfly that I put on the inside, and I used pearls on this one. So I think that one's really pretty, and it uses that gorgeous paper. I love the blue with the white daisies. It's like just so pretty. So that's my other flap fold card. All right. So my next card, I wonder if you can guess. This one's called a double flap fold card. So it's kind of the same thing, but it's got an extra flap on it. And so this one opens like this. So I really like this one. This one is different. I've never made one like this either, so I thought I'd give it a shot. So this one starts out with the base. This is just one single sheet of cardstock. So the base, which is the Seaside Spray, is 5.5 by 4.25, and then the white is 5.25 by 4. So it's kind of like your standard card base measurements. These DSP strips, these are each 1/2 inch by 4 inches. And then this left flap here, this is going to be 4 by 3.5, and you're going to score it at 1/2 inch. And then the DSP is 3.25 by 3.25. And then this right flap here, a little bit smaller, this one's going to be 3.5 by 3, and again you score it at 1/2. And then this DSP piece here is 2.75 by 2.75. So I'm going to show you how I put that all together. Got all my pieces ready ahead of time. So I'm going to start by gluing these DSP strips down. And I like my liquid glue so much better. I've been trying to use up my old snail, and so I was using it, and I realized the reason I hate it so much is because I put it down and my layer was crooked. And with the liquid glue, you usually have a second or two where you can move it to fix it, and you don't have that with the tape glue or the strip adhesive. You don't have that time to move it. Like once you put it down, it's done. And so my card was crooked, and I had to like rip it all apart and start over because I didn't have that little bit of time to adjust it before it dried. So it was really driving me nuts. So I love my liquid glue. I'm never gonna go back. So I've got some butterflies that I'm using again, and those labels. And I made my bow ahead of time because I had made it for another card, and then I ended up not using it, so I used it on this one. So I'm using this beautiful paper. I love this paper. It's always sad when paper I love goes away, and this is only available till the end of February or while supplies last, because we have run out of Celebration products in the past. We've run out early. But I always tell myself there's gonna be plenty of other beautiful paper to choose from. Because it's true, there will be. So, but it's always like, I'm always sad because, oh, I can't get that paper anymore. So, see, here we go. It was crooked, but I have a few seconds to move it. So, I think I just put that on upside down, but that's okay. So, what I want to do, this is our fold. I want that to be a nice crisp fold. And this one too. And this is going to attach, I think this is actually where I want to use that adhesive, because I want it to stick really good. I almost want to use the tear and tear. You could use the tear and tape as well, but I don't want this going anywhere. I want it to stick and stay. So, sorry, I'm moving everything around. Okay, so this one is gonna go on this side, and you want it to be centered between those two DSP strips, and you want that fold to be snug right up against the edge of that white. Like that. Oh, and see, it moved on me. There we go. All right, so now I've pressed it down. So we'll do the same on this side. Yeah, I glued that paper upside down, but that's okay, right, guys? Oh, it's okay, because these patterns are alternating, so it doesn't really matter. I thought I glued it upside down. Okay, so that's how you make the double flap. And then this is all gonna get glued onto our base. Let's see. Put some glue on there. I like my corners to be glued too. So, there we go. All right, now comes the fun part. We get to decorate. So for this one, this has probably become one of my favorite stamps. I've used it a lot because, as you know, people have really been struggling since this pandemic started. And so when I send cards to my friends, I've used this a lot. It's all messy. The hair, the house, the heart, life. So I'm gonna ink that up with the Night of Navy ink. And I'm gonna try to center that in there. And I cut an extra just in case, but that looks pretty good. And then on the inside, it's gonna say, I'm here if you need me. Right there. Again, those sayings are from the stamp set called Here's a Card. And it says, happy birthday, thank you, you made my day, hello there. There's a sympathy one, I've used that a lot. May your heart find the peace it needs. It's just a lot of sayings for reasons you would send a card to somebody. So I've gotten a lot of use out of this stamp set. Okay, so let's see, this way. I'm gonna get my ink out of the way so I don't have an accident. And I'm gonna take a drink. Did anybody share what they had for dinner? I'm not really sure what I should make tomorrow night. Friday, I'm off the hook because I'm going up north Friday morning, so I don't need to worry about Friday, but I've kind of struggled with what to make this week. Well, not really, I shouldn't say that. Monday night, I made a skillet. It was supposed to be it was a keto recipe that I saw. And it had cauliflower rice, but I can't eat cauliflower. It does really bad things to my stomach. So I used regular rice, like brown rice. And it was like ground beef and tomatoes and I forget what else was in it. But it was really good. It kind of reminded me of like stuffed green pepper filling, like the rice and the ground beef. And it was good. So, and then I think last night we had leftovers. Gosh, it's terrible. I can't even remember. It's okay. So this one, yep, I had these two labels together. I'm going to, again, I'm going to attach these with dimensionals. And I'm just putting them on, I'm not going to put one on this side, but I'm going to put them here and here and here. I don't want to put one on this side because I don't want it to stick to that flap. So hopefully Tim is enjoying his chili. I can hear him upstairs making a lot of noise. All right, so I want to make sure that's kind of centered like the center of the card. Like that. All right. And then again, I had some leftover butterflies that I put on here. So I put one down here and I used the really small dimensionals to attach these. The mini, I think they're mini dimensionals. And sometimes you end up picking up two by mistake. These things are really small. So I'll just put one down in that corner. And then this other one will go right there. Like that. And then, what else? I had a bow. Here it is. So I had this left over as well from another card that I was going to use it, and then I decided it doesn't really fit with what I'm going for, so I had it laying on the desk, and I decided that that would look good on there. So I've got this bow. I'm going to stick down there on the corner with my glue dot. So I'm going to stick that like that. I love it. I used a few pearls. I like to do things in threes, you know, so 1, 2, 3. And then I think that's it. Pearls, bow. I'm going to trim the bow a little bit. I think that the ends are too long, but I'm going to angle them like that. Let's see. There we go. All right, so that is my double flap fun fold. Oh, the name's a little complicated, but this card is easy to make. So, I'm going to show you a couple more of those. Let's see. I got a couple more cards here I'll show you using this paper. I guess I did not make a, I thought I did. I thought I made one. I thought I made two of those, but I can't find it, so that's odd. I'll show you. This is another fun fold that I made with this paper. I think this card is my favorite of all the ones that I made. I used that art gallery stamp set, and I used the Night of Navy, the Seaside Spray, and the Rococo Rose ink colors. And so I made this. I've made one of these before, and I can't remember what the name is, but it's a fun fold. I think this is a really pretty card. And then I made this one, and I don't know what the name of this is either, but I was given one of these in a swap, and I was like, oh, I like that, I'm gonna make that. So I made this, and I don't know what the name of it is, but it's, again, it's fairly simple to make. It's just got an extra score in it from, like your regular card base would be like that, and you score it probably 1.25 inches in and fold it over like that. So that's a pretty card. And then I made another one of those, again with that art gallery. Instead of doing the stitched rectangle, I did the stitched nested label dies in a circle. So that is really pretty. I love the paper, and I took the label and I used the painted texture embossing folder back there, so that turned out really nice. So I hope you like my fun folds. Again, I think this one is my favorite out of all of the ones that I made. But I love this paper, it's so pretty. Yeah, I could have sworn that I made another one of those cards, but I don't see it here. So anyway, these are all the cards I made that are fun folds, and I will post those measurements on my page, if not tonight, then tomorrow. Yeah, I'm kind of stumped. I thought I had, I'll find it tomorrow. I'll find a card laying around somewhere. It's definitely not clean in here, so who knows. But anyway, so I hope you guys liked watching the fun fold tonight. And like I said, I'll get those measurements posted on my page tomorrow so that you can see them when you're ready to make them yourself. So I guess that is all I have for tonight. So I'm gonna go, and guys, let me know if you have any questions, and otherwise, hopefully I will see you next Wednesday. You guys have a good night and stay warm, okay? It's gonna get cold, so. All right, guys, we'll see you later. Thank you for watching.